Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. Before I do a part 2 of rap beef and politics involving South Sac and Oak Park, I previously mentioned Oak Park's internal beef, so in this episode, we finna cover that. Oak Park is one of the biggest gangs in Sac by far, so you know with a big hood, there's gonna be several different cliques and crews within Oak Park, but I'ma just focus on 2. The most known rap crew would be Mozzy. Mozzy includes several rappers like Mozzy, of course, his cousin E Mozzy, Hus Mozzy, Babyface Gunna, and Sally Root from the East. There's several rappers and people affiliated with Mozzy, but those are some of the main rappers. Now, another rap group and clique out of Oak Park is Shooter Gang. Their main rappers would be Coney, JoJo, but JoJo's in the pen for a good amount of time right now. Then you got Fleecy and VJ to round out their rappers. Mozzy and his camp and the Shooter Gang camp was locked in early. Mozzy basically played the big homie role and shined a light on several Oak Park younger artists. Mozzy was often seen with the Shooter Gang in their videos and even featured on some of their songs. Mozzy even took some of them on his early tours. But some years ago, it started to be a little division, and you could see a lot of separation between the two camps. Less appearances together and less music. You even start seeing the Shooter Gang crew start wearing their Mozzy chains. Then you start seeing videos of D-Ray from Shooter Gang, who was now dead, pressing the older Oak Park OG named Jeff for snitching. I can't find the video, but it's out there. Jeff is close to Mozzy, and I heard he's Mozzy's uncle, but I don't know if that's true. Jeff has paperwork out there of him snitching from the 90s. Mozzy still associates with Jeff and is often seen with him, even though he always speaks down on rap. Sometime later, Shooter Gang DeRay died in an unrelated event, and Mozzy, or his camp, wasn't even at the funeral. Filthy Rich later brought this up in a diss to Mozzy. Maserati Rick, another rapper from Oak Park, has said to been beefing with Mozzy internally for some years. Even more, he has a super close affiliation with Shooter Gang, and he often voices his opinion and stance. But when an altercation involving Shooter Gang Coney getting his chain took by Mozzy's camp, Maserati Rick started tripping on live, even exposing Uzi Marcus, basically calling him a lollipop, a straight sucker for not backing up Coney and letting him get packed out. Maserati Rick even mentioned how he was going to kick Uzi Marcus off Zilla, which is one of Oak Park's main cliques. He said he could at least fire some shots to get them off Coney. Coney chain situation didn't get talked much about after that point. When Coney went on a jumper, he tried to downplay the situation and not speak much on Mozzy, but you could see the tension when Mozzy was brought up. Coney's chain incident became much bigger when Shooter Gang Fleecy took a Mozzy affiliate's chain named Goonie. Fleecy and VJ would clown Goonie and Bishop, who both rocked with Mozzy for getting their chain snatched by them. Mozzy's side would then start showing off with Shooter Gang Coney's chain. During this time, Murder Gang Juju, who is currently in jail fighting a body, dissed VJ over a freestyle over the phone, which is crazy because he associated with both sides. But he showed his true allegiance to Mozzy's side when he mentioned how Mozzy put Shooter Gang on and how they bit the head and that fed them. VJ quickly responded with a diss straight at Juju, calling him, even mentioning how he didn't even have a Mozzy chain. VJ even brought up Juju not being a shooter, but a driver. VJ also dissed other Oak Park people. When Coney and Mozzy showed they had time to be petty. Mozzy was wearing Coney's chain, and Coney was wearing Mozzy affiliate's chain. Then a few weeks back, Shooter Gang Fleecy's family member and Mozzy's big homie Stacks made a new song, which many people think was a shot at Mozzy. He said when Zoe died, somebody got out of town. Mozzy talks about Zoe all the time and was one of his closest homies. So with all the beef going on, many people believe it was aimed at Mozzy. Not to mention Maserati Rick was in the video. Oak Park beefs with a lot of hoods, but the inner beef with them might be deadly. You got other cliques in Oak Park picking sides, or just trying to stay out the way of both and do their own thing. Inner beef in your own area ain't the way to go. Y'all come from the same place and got the same enemies, but things can never be that simple from the... This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.